Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we are now in 2024. Off season is very much underway. The last vlog I did was about the intake of food and it seemed to go down pretty well. So today's episode is slightly different. I'll be going over a few subjects. Number one, my new cycle. Number two, motivation in off season and my plans for the year. Number three, I'm very close to the 6-month mark on my Gynaecomastia surgery. So I'll be giving an update on that. And number four, upcoming match against a professional arm wrestler. I'm obviously pretty deep into off season now. I've just undergone 11 weeks of 300 milligrams of testosterone and anthate, which is what in the bodybuilding industry we describe as a cruise. A cruise is basically just a period of time in between cycles. So instead of doing a cycle, coming completely off and then doing a cycle again, where your hormones are going to be jumping all over the place, just trying to keep things a little bit more level. So the testosterone is there just to prevent your body from completely crashing. Obviously, when you put in synthetic hormones into your body, your natural production completely shuts off. So all of a sudden, you take those away. If you were to come completely off testosterone, your body's natural production wouldn't kick back in time. So you'd have this period of time where you crash, and you're going to experience plenty of negatives off of the back of that. So you bridge the gap between your cycles, which in my case was almost 3 months, with 300 milligrams of testosterone, which, as I say, it's still enough for me to progressive in the gym. It's allowing my body to reset a little bit and create a bit of breathing space ready for me to push on again. Because it's just unrealistic to think you can just push your body to extremes all the time. Instead, breaking it up like this is a much more, in my opinion, and the opinion of plenty of other bodybuilders, is a much safer, sensible way to do it. Now, doing steroids has risks as well, and we all know that, but you're just trying to mitigate that risk. You're just trying to create as much longevity as possible, rather than just drilling yourself into the ground. So I will be going over my cycles shortly and explain why I've chosen certain compounds. Then also my competitive plans for the year, and also how I find off-season psychologically harder than prep. I think people on the outside looking in assume that bodybuilding is hard because of food restriction, whereas actually I think the opposite. I think it's hard because of how much food I have to eat. Food restriction for me is actually a preference, so it's just, putting my views out there, and hopefully it can be relatable to some people as well. My Gynaecomastia update, of course, and then on Sunday approaching, as in 4 days away, I'm going to be going against a professional arm wrestler. There is one caveat though, he is under 90 kilograms. He's a professional at under 90 kilograms, and obviously I weigh roughly 130 kilo. So there's a 40 kilogram weight discrepancy, which one would assume, oh, well, you've got a massive advantage. Yeah, sure, but he's a professional, right? So one kind of cancels out the other. He clearly has a lot more skill and experience than I do, so it's going to be an interesting one. But it's going to be a proper match, and I'll get some footage of that as well, and hopefully it can be. Well, hopefully I'll come away with a win, and hopefully I'll be unscathed as well. I think the thing with arm wrestling, a lot of people assume that you're just going to get injured all the time. Are you worried about snapping your arm? Not really. The way that it's done, it's not really like that. Arm wrestling someone down the pub without any forethought is not the same as when you set up properly against people who know what they're doing. Obviously, you're adjusted to it as well. If you're not adjusted to it and you just go full throttle, it's kind of shit. Imagine never training legs and then just going in to do your 1 rep max. You're setting yourself up for an injury, to be honest with you. With arm wrestling, I've been doing it 6 months now. Just under. My arm is slightly more adjusted to it. This will be the first proper match that I have. So I'm just going to try and have a little bit of fun with it. But until then, I'm going to train legs, and I will catch up with you in a bit. Right, so that intro was actually from yesterday. So legs was done. Today is going to be chest, triceps again. As you just saw, that was 275 grams of chicken, 100 grams of rice, and all those mixed veg. But as you see, some mixed herb, some garlic, some chili flakes, a stock cube, bit of water, and yeah, it's just, I can't say that my appetite is raging at the moment, and in fact, that kind of takes me on to my next talking point. So I speak with a lot of different people regarding this subject, and I've got a little guest here. Say hello. Arnie, it's been a while since you've been on, mate. You okay? Hungry? He's always hungry. What do you want then, boy? He loves Dreamy so much that he actually whipped the packet. There you go, boy. Have a few of them. People will say to me, oh, I don't really feel like eating this. Oh, I don't really want to eat this. Oh, I'm getting a bit bored of the food. And these are all absolutely valid things to say. I think sometimes you need to forfeit those kind of things when trying to achieve your goal physique. I don't always, right now, I'm not really hungry. Do I really want to eat this? Not really. It's not the end of the world. It's not like that bad. I mean, as far as I can enjoy it, I do. But if I wasn't bodybuilding, I certainly wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be eating if I wasn't hungry. But sometimes you need to, I think this is a bit of a metaphor for life. Sometimes in life, you do things that you don't want to do in order to get the things that you do want to do. Just playing the long game. So if you're expecting everything that you ever do in life to always be just a breeze, completely comfortable, completely easy, completely whatever, you're in for a rude awakening. That's not really reality. For you to get things that you want, sometimes it takes doing things that you don't want to do. And then to finalize, before I eat my food, my gyno recovery. Now, let me get this settled. I'm now basically 6 months post gyno surgery. I'm going to show you now without a pump and relaxed, obviously, and then I'm going to show you with a pump, and it looks quite different. So what I noticed was there's still a bit of scar tissue on this one here, where they went in for the liposuction as well, which I didn't even know they were going to do. I didn't really have any fat in my pecs, so I was a little bit confused as that. A little bit of scar tissue on this one here. This one, scar tissue wise, is okay. There's a tiny bit actually on the nipple itself, whereas this one's just slightly to the side. What I found when I initially had it done, that there was like almost craters basically around my nipple where they'd pulled it out. That seems to have been clearing up a little bit now, but what I find is that there's a bit of a fold of skin. So certain poses that I do when I've got no pump, I see a bit of a dip in my nipple. It's not really that unsightly. I notice it probably more than other people, but yeah. Anyway, here's what it looks like now. This is my left side. You can see there a little bit of scar tissue here, sort of a little bit of raised, but not too bad at all. In this light, you can't necessarily see that much. There you go. And then the other side, this one doesn't really have any scar tissue at all, but it definitely does dip in a little bit more. You can probably be able to see a little bit there. So it folds in at the bottom there, if you see. But my overall review is that it's considerably better than it was before. No, it's not perfect now, but what I had before was way worse. So I'm overall really glad I had it done. I still think there's like a lot of healing that needs to be done, probably over the next 6 months still. And just briefly to finish up on that, if you are thinking about having it done, the likelihood is that you're going to be able to train 3 to 4 weeks after you've had it done. About 3 weeks after my surgery, I was ready to go again. Then by about the 6-week mark, I was back to full strength. So the strength that I had prior to the operation, I was completely back to normal by week 6. And in terms of pain and discomfort, it was pretty much like day 2 onwards. The pain was actually really manageable. It wasn't nothing to write home about at all. The worst thing I felt was probably the discomfort of putting my arm above my head. So doing this, it felt like something was pulling. It felt like there was like some tissue that was not allowing me to do it properly. So every time I put my arm over my head, it was kind of a problem. So lat pull down was a bit of a problem. And when I say a bit of a problem, all I mean is I couldn't fully extend without, I had to be a little bit mindful of how fast I came up on the eccentric. But other than that, everything was fine. So 6 months in, not too bad. Next time I get on stage, it's going to be a hell of a lot better. I'm going to show you what it looks like with the pump as well. So yeah, so I've just finished my chest and tricep workout, and I'm going to show you what it looks like with the pump. From there, but one of the before one of the problems was every time I put my arm up, there'd be like a crater in my nipple. But thankfully that's gone now. There's just this little bit of scar tissue that I mentioned before, but other than that, it's not too noticeable. Do you know what? I really annoy myself because in prep, I get my hair cut every week and I feel fresh and feel good. And in off season, I just let myself get a little bit, I don't know, like just a little bit sloppy, I guess. So time for a transformation. And that's that. Certainly better than it was. And I don't know if anyone else has this problem as well, but my beard grows at different lengths and different directions. So the bit underneath grows at a certain direction. It grows like that way. Then all this grows down, and then some of this grows out. Then my moustache grows at a different rate as well. So if I have the same length on my moustache and beard, it makes it look terrible. So what I do is I purposely leave this a bit longer, because then in about a day or 2, it's going to catch up with this. They will like match. But at the moment, it looks like I've left a bit more on the tash. But it's all with the big picture in mind. And I got to say, I always love coming out of the barbers. I always feel so much better. I felt pretty scruffy before. But now I feel fresh as fuck. Oh, you got
my t-shirt as well. Hello, mate. How are you? See you, man. Good to see you.
How you feeling?
A little bit nervous. That should be good fun. Try not to overthink it and just try and enjoy the moment.
So, are you doing left arm and right arm?
So, it was
and
only,
what's it best out of?
it's best of 5. We were only supposed to be doing right, but he's a really friendly guy and he just come over to me and said, you fancy doing left as well? So, we'll have a bit of fun, but we'll start right is the main one. And remember, it's just a friendly, it's just a bit of fun, but for me, it's the first time I've ever been properly tested, so yeah, we'll see. Look, you pronate my cup. Okay. Yep. Just rip, yeah, break back the Concon. Yep. There you
go. Carolina, is my dog away? Is Tina put away? Go right. Just because someone's opened a fire escape, so. Let's go, guys.
Go on, Ryan.
Okay. Right, you ready, team?
Yep.
Right, take a grip. Stay, turn, roll with me, Ready, go!
Watch your elbow, hold him.
Yeah. Winner. So, just so you know, pal, did elbow foul in about 30 seconds a minute. It's going to be awkward, okay? So let's try and negotiate a fair grip, okay? Okay? So I'm going to set your shoulders up first. Set your shoulder. Sorry, Zol.
Shoulder.
Shoulder.
No, yeah. Shoulder. Back shoulder. Alright.
Okay. Thumbs are good. Roll. Right in the shoulder. Roll. Ready, go!
Watch your elbow.
Elbow foul, Ryan.
Sorry.
We're letting the little bobbles go, but that's like an inch off the front.
On nawet nie zna zasad kwadrata, także.
So we're on one elbow foul, Ryan.
Ale jest fajnie.
Bulgarian sausage, come on!
Shoulder.
Get on the pad, Zol. I need you to take a grip. I won't start doing anything until you get on the pad. Yeah, just keep coming off the front of the pad before we even start. Alright? Yeah, that's fine. Shoulder. Yeah, right. Shoulder. Up. There you go. Thumbs are good. Roll with me. Ready, go!
Elbow!
Big elbows up. Thumbs are good. No, just a little bit. You're not there. There you go. Wrist off. Ready, go!
No elbow foul!
Elbow foul.
No bo to samo shoulder.
Ready, go! Slip. There you go. That one's forward. That's okay. They look okay. I need to rotate you tuck. Keep everything in place. I'm doing this again now, mate. Just touch. Ready, go!
Wow!
All right, let's set up, lads.
Я шоколад могу взять.
I'm going to set your shoulders up first, okay? That's perfect, mate. Can you stay there, please? That's good. Thumbs are good. And just a little bit of a rotation. No, you don't move. Don't move. Ready, go! Elbow off the front of the sausage. I've never known someone not to want to be on the pad. Stay. Stay. Okay. Ready, go!
Yes, right.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. It's
Very nice, lads. Are we doing left? Are we doing left, Ryan?
Okay, 5 minutes, 5 minutes.
5 minutes, that left arm.
5 minutes, 5 minutes.
5 minutes, that left arm.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel good. He was better than I thought. I mean, I know that he's a pro, but when I got here, a few people said to me, "You'll be able to dominate this. You'll be able to do this," and I couldn't. As soon as I felt him, I knew that there were certain things that he was really well equipped in. But yeah, I'm really. It's like a lot of the stuff that you think and you're being told you don't do because you're just like so worked up. But yeah.
Ready, go!
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Yes!
Well done.
This is it. I love it. Shoulder. Shoulder. Zoltan, shoulder.
Okay. Still need it. More. Ready, go! Yep. Ready, go!
Winner.
Winner. 3-0. Good job.
Whatever happens, what are you doing? Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Okay, good that, yeah.
Nice balance.
Great start. Right, so now with the gym owner, and also, I guess, even though it's not been announced, like he's basically my mentor. Since the moment I started arm wrestling, pretty much everything that I've learned has been down to this guy. So this is Nick.
How you guys?
Introduce yourself.
So basically my name's Nick. I've been in the PT industry now for 18 years. So initially a PT for about 5 years in a commercial club. Moved into teaching PT courses for the last 12, 13 years. And then just PTing the whole time, coaching. My main role is strength and conditioning coach. And from a sporting perspective, I've danced through, starting off in athletics and then danced through all the strength sports. So initially Olympic weightlifting, competed at under 68 kg body weight a long time ago.
I've seen a photo of him when he looked like that. He still looked mental as well. It's biceps bigger than mine now. Yeah.
just a bicep, that was it.
Yeah.
And then powerlifting at U75, and that was when I was initially drug free. Moved into upper weight class and went into being an assisted athlete, into strongman at under 80, under 90, and eventually found my way into arm wrestling now. We opened the gym a year ago, so this is where we are now. So coaching out of the facility, working with the arm wrestlers, coaching various different athletes and teaching the courses.
So Bionic is actually classed as, where are we, Oldham?
We are in Oldham.
Oldham. So Bionic Strength in Oldham, if you ever get the chance to be in the area, please come and visit. It's fucking awesome. Some amazing kit. I'm specialising in, as I say, it's more like, I would say more like to strongman, arm wrestling obviously, just strength sports basically. So
I class it as a performance gym.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, if you compete in a performance-based sport, this is the place you should be. So we have all the strongman kit you could imagine, and we attract athletes who travel 2-3 hours away for that reason, because we've got kit that no one else has. Like, we bought a Thomas inch dumbbell. We have one athlete who just comes just for that dumbbell, you know, like, and that's what we do. We find the pieces of kit people want. We find the pieces of kit that are in people's comps. We get that kit and we populate the place with it. From a strength and conditioning perspective of other sports, we have everything that they would need to do their training. We've got all the arm wrestling kit, and as far as I know, we're the only official gym that is a normal gym setting that has a full arm wrestling setup. I don't know any other club that's got that.
okay, cool. And how long ago did you actually get into arm wrestling?
So I've been in the sport now, it's just past 3 years. So I started in October 3 years ago.
And you become pro when?
I became pro last December. So roughly 2 years into my arm wrestling career, I went pro, yeah.
So that will be the ultimate goal for me as well. At the moment, obviously bodybuilding takes precedent, but I can feel myself swaying towards this. At the moment as well, I think that it's going to be hard for me to progress like arm wrestling like dramatically whilst I'm like that. Would you agree as well?
Yeah, I mean, the issue that you will come across, Ryan, is what you've already experienced, is that arm wrestling and dedicating to arm wrestling destroys you. So like your tendons are what take the biggest beating. So when you're absorbing them hits, the issue is that it's all negatives. And as we know, negatives are the form of training that pretty much beats you up the most. So effectively, you take a hit and open up, and you do 2 hours of negatives here with us on a Saturday, and then somehow you have to go train up a body, right?
Sorry. Do you know, actually, I'd say it's even leg training afterwards.
Yeah.
So like bracing myself. Whenever on a hack squat or a leg press, it's really, really bad. But
I used to not be able to squat after an arm wrestling session.
100%.
So straight into
Getting
my
into
elbow,
position.
yeah, just getting in there, and so, you know, massively it affects everything. So for you to fully dedicate into the sport, you would probably add detriment into your bodybuilding. So there's a priority level there where right now you still have things that you have left on your list in bodybuilding, and you can make arm wrestling do this in the background without that dropping. But if you make it do this quicker, that's going to come down with it. So you have to prioritize what's important to you right now while developing it in the background, knowing that the transition's there when you want it.
That's exactly that. Literally summed up perfectly. I think at the moment I need to accept that it's going to be slightly slower than I'd like, but as I said, when bodybuilding's done, I think it's going to be quite a smooth transition, and I'll be fairly experienced by the time that happens.
I believe you'll already be pro by the time you decide to fully commit. I think you will already be pro in the super heavyweight class.
Well, I think, so obviously today was my first, and in between rounds, you may or may not have seen on the video, I don't know what it caught, but Nick was trying to give me certain pointers, but what I realised is when you're in that moment, it's quite difficult to have clarity in your thinking. There's someone basically the other side of the table trying to rip open your arm. So as much as you can know what's right and wrong, you end up just making poor mistakes, and I think that's like inexperience that from my part. Obviously this was my first go.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can have a few more.
It's match experience.
Yeah.
And the reality of it is when you put your elbow on that table, you expose yourself to risk, and you are in a fight, and you are in a battle. So the reality of it is what happens to your adrenaline level doesn't allow you to comprehensively think and run through what might be your routine. But you know, when it's the same as what a boxer might say, is like everyone's got a plan until you get hit in the face. It's kind of the same thing. You've got a plan until you feel that person hit your arm. And then at that point, you're like, oh, I've got to hang on.
Yeah,
And it becomes hang-on mentality. So the advice you often get given, you can't compute mid-match until you get more experience.
Exactly that. I think there's nothing to substitute that. It's literally just take time doing matches.
Yeah.
You can practice what you want, but until someone is physically trying to, as I said, it's the expression I use, rip your arm off. They're obviously not trying to, but you know what I mean? They don't really care.
In a match, they are.
In training, we're all trying to look
after each other.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a match scenario with someone that doesn't care about your existence, they don't care if they break you in the process unless they break you. So what you tend to see in the sport is the people in there, people might put themselves in a bad position, they'll take advantage of it and they'll just hit through it. If that person then gets hurt, it's not like the person doesn't care.
No.
But during that match, you're in a fight, the
Adrenaline.
adrenaline is too high.
Yeah.
You're not looking after the person on the other side of the table.
Yeah, it's funny. It's, as I say, from an outside perspective, everyone can, you know, have clarity of thought and give you X, Y, Z advice. But when you're in that moment, it's very, very difficult. So, that being my first match, how would you assess how that went for me and whatnot?
What I said to you prior to the match, I expected Ryan to take the match easier on right arm, and I still believe the capacity to do that was there. Zolt was stronger than I thought. He was stronger
Absolutely.
than I thought. And one thing that can happen to us is that we feel great in a particular spot, so we train that spot over and over again because it's nice to do what you're good at. And I think everyone watching's probably experienced that in like revising for an exam. Like, I'm just going to keep reading these pages I already know all the answers to because then I feel good about myself. It's the same in training. We have to train where we're shit.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
Yeah, you sort of like, you get like a dopamine hit from the bits that sort of make you
Yeah.
feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've been saying this to me in training, like the bits that you're not good at, go there. Go there and then rep it and rep it and rep it again and again.
And start off with the people lower down the group and practice your hook with them and then build up to the people that you perceive as stronger in the group until you're smashing them. And then at that stage, you start feeling confident in the hook.
Definitely.
Yeah, you need more weapons. That's the answer. You need to settle down in the match. You need more weapons to access that you feel confident using, and then at that stage, you're going to be what I think is a hell of a force to deal with. Your potential is massive, which is what I said to you when we met at the Fit Expo. Your potential is huge. You've worked hard. You've come a long way already, and there's a way to go, but it's still early days. So let's be excited about what's to come and
100%.
take the win for today.
Yeah, 100%. And just, I guess, from me to you, mate, thank you very much, mate. From the beginning, you've been fucking nothing short of excellent. And as I say, everything that I have learned has pretty much been down to this guy. So thank you for that, mate.
Thank you,
And
pal.
also, hopefully upcoming tournaments this year around the country, potentially.
Yep, so my big match is against Stanley Hamilton in Ireland, 23rd of March. So Stanley's the under 90 kilo Irish champ, left arm. So we're going for that. We're taking the gym over, the team's going to support. There's going to be a big, big event. And then after that's done, it's me and you. We're going around the place, we're going to find tournaments, we're going to train, and we're going to taper down, we're going to take tournament after tournament, we're going to go win shit. So that's the game.
You heard that, right?
That's the
I
game.
just got to get good now, I guess. That's the only thing.
So have I, mate.
Oh, shit.
So have I.
Fucking hell.
Oh, you got tackled.
I've ripped my pants. Oh my God.
Tackled, mate.
So anyway, home from the arm wrestling today. Obviously, it was a success, and actually, it was probably a good thing that there was mistakes made, because realistically, for me to get better, I need to make those mistakes in an actual match to be able to get better in the future. So, all in all, really good and absolutely buzzing about that. I was just going to finalise with the final thing I said I was going to talk about in this vlog, and that is my current cycle that I'm about to. Well, actually, just started it. So following on from the cruise that I was doing, I now progressed up. I now have 3 compounds in. Here they are. Testosterone enanthate in with 500 milligrams of testosterone. The next one is Masteron enanthate. And I'll be running that one at 500 milligrams as well. And to finalise, NPP. And I'm going to be running that at 150 milligrams. So overall, my total androgen load is 1.1 grams or just over. The reason why I'm taking these 3 is because there are 3 main pathways when it comes to anabolic steroids. The testosterone derivatives, the DHT derivatives, and the nandrolone derivatives. And I'm trying to cover all bases, find a balance between an effective dose, but not overdoing it in terms of quantity. So I'm someone who has been using steroids for quite a long time now, so it's not necessarily reflective of what I was doing in years gone by, or even necessarily what everyone else should do. Bearing in mind, I'm a 130 kilogram bodybuilder who's been doing steroids for a long time, so this is relative to me and my experience level. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and that's going to be a wrap for this video, so tune in for the next one.